Hello, Kieran Harrod here, of Kieran Harrod Graphics. I'm going to run you through a design I created for an app called FireHub. Just give you a bit of rationale, a bit of background, hopefully 3 or 4 minutes, won't keep you for long. Just a bit of insight into kind of what I was thinking when I developed it, and hopefully kind of process I kind of go through when I put these things together. So without further ado, I'll pop over here. So yeah, like I say, FireHub is an app at its core for fire risk assessors to undertake risk assessments on buildings, corporate buildings and things like that. It's supposed to take the pain and the repetition out of these kind of fire reports, and yeah, just make it easier to do them and come back to them and repeat them in future years and things like that. Not miss anything, tick all the legislation that needs to be ticked, and just give a kind of simple, comprehensive place to get those things done. So as such, I really wanted to focus on the icon here. Let's just switch over to here. The icon over here, which would be appearing on hopefully lots of professionals' screens as the app is further developed, improved, and becomes something that people regularly use. So yeah, it was important to get the kind of app icon right. That's what's going to be seen on screens and devices as people go to work, I suppose. So that was a kind of big focus. And what I started doing was taking photos of matches lighting up, and hopefully on this one you can see the beginnings of the kind of shape that I ended up going with, and the reason I kind of went with it. And obviously it was kind of refined and distilled into something a bit more icon-like, but this was where the kind of thought and idea kind of came to them. And also hopefully you'll kind of see some of the kind of colours. It's kind of here that I kind of started using. I wanted to avoid a little bit the kind of reds and yellows, so I kind of picked this kind of deeper kind of blue colour that was kind of forming as the match kind of lit. Probably something to do with the chemicals, but just kind of give an interesting colour. And this kind of gradient becomes a kind of supporting element of the brand as we go forward. So yeah, and then we have kind of variations, and you can see the gradient can be dragged up and down depending on what you want to do. If you want something darker, both inverse and out, you can kind of have a different kind of effect. Still keeps the brand kind of maintained, but it gives more flexibility. And this is really the kind of digital application where we can guarantee we're looking at RGB screen and we're not worrying about gradients and prints, which some kind of can be a bit tricky, especially when kind of things get small. So yeah, and we also developed a kind of secondary version which is mostly used in print, but is used elsewhere as well, depending on what the applications needed. Just a little less leaning on the gradient. Here's the app icon. As you can see, it kind of stands out on the home screen of a device. The F has got that kind of repetition of FireHub, and it's obviously got a fire, so people know that's what they're clicking when they start their day looking at fire assessments. There's the icon isolated. I wanted to get this kind of F with this kind of natural kind of organic shape in it, and that kind of links up to the fire really nicely and gives this kind of nice sweep, and creates a really unique kind of bespoke icon that the app that the business can really kind of claim and grab hold of. And again, it's sat on the kind of gradient on the kind of RGB screens that we see, and then just some applications playing around with it as we're kind of going forward. But hopefully you can see things like this where the gradient carries the weight of the brand without getting in the way of the kind of rest of the data that's being used. And then yep, and you can see the gradient hopefully here, and we can move it around and drag it around so it has a kind of different effect and make some interesting things on things like business cards. And here we see the print version being used on a flyer. These are getting printed before too long, and being used for events and things like that. Yeah, so there you go. There's just a quick, brief overview and rationale of the FireHub logo. I've been Kieran Harrod. I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts. Yeah, thanks for watching.